Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Entitled Parents. Story 1. Caregiving as they age. I'm struggling with the idea of caring for my UBPD mother in her old age after my dad eventually passes. I'm her only child and she is estranged from any family members and siblings. I am 30, she is almost 70, and she very well could outlive my father by 10 plus years. This year I met the love of my life and I can't wait for the two of us to start our life together fresh, creating our own family and breaking unhealthy generational patterns. We have so much emotional stability in our little life together, which is a reprieve from my dynamic being raised by the mom I had. My partner clearly sees and understands the harsh emotional toll that my mom can take on me. My fears are running wild right alongside my guilt. I worry that my mom will become needier with age and more entitled to my time. Just the thought of her relocating to be in the same area as us would cause tremendous anxiety for me. Does anyone have experience with navigating this? Or have words of advice on how to delicately handle boundaries with an aging parent? Story 2. Know it all, Dad. So, to start with, I'm not a big writer unless I'm motivated. So how long this story will be. Okay, for some backstory, my dad thinks he knows everything and will not listen to anyone with a different opinion even if it's right, and he's wrong until someone looks it up to see who's right. So with the backstory done, on with one of the main stories. I think I'll tell a gaming story. My dad, M70s, and me, M30s, like to play Wizard 101 together when we're on together, aka when I see he's on when I get on. So back when Monstrologist came out I learned the new spell, then I told my dad and he gave me his catchphrase of "I know that." So I walked away and learned how to get a housemate. A few days later I show off my wizard house and he asked how I got a monster in my house. So I told him it was through Monstrologist and he asked what that was, so I started to tell him, then he say, "Oh yeah, I know that." Now a few years later he still asks how I get a few spells or a housemate and I start to tell him, with my dad saying that he knows it already until the next time he asks me. So would I be a jerk to tell him if he already knows it? Why do you keep asking how it works? Story 3. Living with my mom. I'm not sure if this counts as a entitled parent post, but I had to move in with my mom since she couldn't afford to live on her own. I'm in my late 20s and she wants to act like I am still a child living at home even though I make more of a contribution to bills than she does. I feel like I'm only treated like an adult when it is convenient. If I want to do something by myself she always says I don't ever want to spend time with her and that I must hate her. She always wants me to go places with her and says if I love her I would go with her. She doesn't want me to spend money on things cause we might need it, so I need to save it for something that she thinks is worth it. Usually it's things that only benefit her even if they are bad for her. I can't keep living with her, but I also know that she can't really afford to live on her own and I don't want her to get mad at me since she would. Story 4. Single mom already sending out her Christmas wish list. She does this every year. It's not even Halloween yet. It's a Facebook meme she sends out stating what people really need is someone to help them pay a bill or buy groceries for them, and proceeds to go into an entire list of things people can do for her for Christmas this year. This isn't by far the first time she's asked for things from other people because she's been doing this for 20 years now, even before she had a child. My objection to this is, it just seems crass since we're still in October, and so this must really be weighing on her mind very soon. And like most of her other posts it's hinting around that people buy her things and do things for her. Story 5. An entitled Karen claimed 10 seats for her friends and family in a stadium full of people plus 2 bonuses. Hi, it's my first time posting, also English is not my first language, so forgive me for any mistakes. Cast. M. Mom G. Grandma EK. Entitled, Mom, Karen KF, Karen's friend. I wasn't there to witness the first one, but I did witness the other 2. My sister had a gymnastics performance today. It's set to begin at 7 o'clock. My mom and my grandma got there at 6:30. One half of the stand was filled with people, however the other was taken by things like bags, shoes etc., that others have put there to keep them for friends or family, so nobody else could sit there. M noticed this and she yelled, "Are all those seats taken?" To which no one answered. She then found another mom and she commented on how ridiculous the situation was. Now Miss K heard her and she told her, "I've been here since 5:30 to claim these seats." To which G said, "People only claim seats in cemeteries." K kept going on and on and on. At some point M got pissed and told her, "The performance starts at 7. If your quests don't arrive at 7, we are seating here." K was like, "Oh really? Well, let's see." M and G sat on the stairs because there was nowhere else to sit on. Then, KF appear. She tries to go up the stairs but she can't because it's blocked by my mom and grandma. "Excuse me," she said, "I need go through." "Go where?" asked M. "There," she said pointing towards Karen. "We won't be making way for you to hoe through," Mom responded. "Your friend has claimed all these seats and we have nowhere to seat on. So you can climb yourself up there." The rest of Karen's friends showed up before 7. One woman heard the commotion and gave them 2 of her seats. Bonus 1. I arrive at the stadium and I, somehow, find a sit next to a grandpa who wasn't too pleased that I sat next to him. Behind me was an old woman who was wearing a purse. After a while, she got up to film one of the performances. I am a tall girl, 1.83 centimeters, so her purse would continually poke my head. Not only that, when she turned was the problem. She turned left, her purse would go pow. On my head. She turned right, pow. Again. I turned to her numerous times. I didn't say anything, which I regret now, but how can someone be so clueless about their surroundings? Bonus 2. There was a self-service buffet at the end. It had just opened and me and my grandma wanted to get some food. We were right next to it but by the time we got to the desserts people were already in front of us. We were waiting patiently, when grandma found some space to squeeze through. I was behind her. A woman then shoved my grandma back. She had this expression on her face. The look that said, "This is my food and you are not touching it." We did get food eventually. So yeah, there's tales from my quite eventful day. Thank you for reading, smiley face. Also my sister and her teammates absolutely slayed during their performance. Story 6. Nephew shoots his cat with Nerf bullets. I don't want to vent all the time to friends or family, so it's probably better to do it in a place that was created for venting. I was at Thanksgiving with my family, and my mom found my nephew's Nerf gun. I'm on the couch watching a movie next to her and her boyfriend, on my left. My cousin is next to me on my right. My mom fires the gun, and it shoots so hard that it leaves a mark on the wall, which is probably over 10 feet away. Whoa! That's a strong-ass Nerf gun. I don't remember them being any more than flimsy little things with soft foam bullets. My cousin says, "Nephew's name," shoots, the cat's name, with that. My mom and her boyfriend laugh/chuckle. I freeze in horror. He shoots the cat with that. I look at the fucking dark dent on the wall that my mom just created. My mom plays it off as no big deal. Probably because she doesn't want to create tension. Probably partially because she doesn't have the same level of empathy for animals as she does for people. It was very disturbing. I already know my cousin has never taken good care of her pets, but to let her 2-year-old son literally shoot the cat with these hard bullets is disgusting. In general, my family members are not known for outstanding care of their pets. I mean he is too, so my hope is that his aim is bad enough that he hasn't hit him. I just needed to say this somewhere. It really disturbs me, and I don't want to hear anyone defending her if I were to tell someone. I also don't want to burden my friends with stories of animal abuse. Story 7. Birthday weekend from hell. This weekend was my mom's 70th birthday and as the only daughter I had to go to this girl trip she had planned. I had slept for 3 hours the night before and drove about 5+ hours for this girl's trip. I spent close to $300 even before getting there. The first thing my mom says to me is nice of you to finally show up. I let it go, say hello to everyone else. That's when everyone there tells me to call my dad and tell him to call her and say happy birthday instead of the text he sent. We then go out to dinner, knowing that my dad probably didn't plan anything for my mom's birthday. I call him and say he should pay for dinner as a gesture for her birthday. Once she finds out, she gets the nastiest look on her face saying, "Why would you do that?" Getting angry at the dinner table. Everyone was taking my side and telling her to cool it. Then today she comes to me saying how I ruined the night for her. I didn't have the right to tell my dad to do something, how I didn't consider that her friends wanted to treat her for her birthday. That's when I say I'm leaving. I've had enough and me trying will never be enough. We get into a bigger argument and I tell her I'm leaving. She says to me that if I leave, that it would be unforgivable. That's when I realize she doesn't give a shit about my feelings, and even though I don't want to be here, she's pissed off that I'm leaving and how bad she'll look to her friends. So I said sure, I'll stay, but it's because I'm forced. I don't actually want to be here. So here I am, forced to spend my free weekend with her. The sad thing is she'd rather I be miserable here than have time to cool off at home. She's that self-centered. Story 8. Cult-like family attempts to control my career. TLDR in the comments. Over the past year I've been teaching myself web development with a final goal of becoming a freelancer. I have a definitive concrete plan to follow, that is based on factual evidence, and am confident that things can work out for me. My family know little to nothing about how the tech field works besides what I tell them. But for some odd reason my career plans/goals are never enough for them. They always try to push different/better options that would make me completely miserable. I've told my family flat out to just let me make my choices several times over, yet they still hound my career choices as if I don't know any better. Especially since my cousin recently got into a cybersecurity internship, my family has been pushing me to do the same as him. They want me to use cybersecurity as a segue into web development, but there are other more fulfilling ways for me to do that, even if it takes longer. Even though I have zero interest in cybersecurity, they continue to shove it down my throat. They rarely let me finish my sentences and hit me with word salad every time the conversation comes up. Honestly, fuck these people and everything they stand for. Story 9. I deal with this all the time. I'm a lifeguard. So I work at a luxury gym that has an indoor and outdoor pool area. There's a lot of entitlement there. I'm just going to list a few experiences. In the indoor pool during the summer I wore my sunglasses indoors because I liked people not being able to see my eyes, but it's an advantage so I don't do that anymore. This child's mom said, "I'm watching you." The lifeguard isn't watching you. Meanwhile I had made eye contact him 10 sec prior when I was fixing my hair. Her son goes, "Yes she is." And the mom chuckled and said, "No she's not. I kinda regret doing this, but I pretended not to hear anything. I think it was the end of my shift and I was too tired to care." Asterisk, I'm gonna tell this in chronological order. So my manager is really nice. She goes above and beyond to make the members and their kids happy. This morning she was thanking me for being a part of the team and just saying really nice things. The outdoor cafe was closed, but she was handing out popsicles. I was on the chair, but my work bestie came to me in shock, explaining that a lady had just been really mean to my manager. She was mad that she couldn't use her inflatable thing to keep her baby afloat. They're dangerous and the lifeguard told her that they're not allowed. My manager goes to offer her and her baby a popsicle, but the lady snaps, "Get out of my face." I was shocked. I was then on my downtime, so I go fold towels, but this lady was like 10 feet in front of me. I was so angry with her, but I kept my mouth shut. She said to her baby in a baby voice, "That lady right there is a Meon lady. She wouldn't give us a popsicle." So I was under the impression my manager, rightfully, said no. This woman crossed a big line. I wanted to stand up for my boss, but it was risky. Customer service is a big part of the company. I thought I don't even care if I'm getting fired for this, it's so wrong. I say maybe it's because you were super mean to my manager, and she turns around. Excuse me, I don't remember much, but it was bickering back and forth. She had one brain cell, so it was hard to converse with someone that stupid. She even said, I get it, you're like a star employee, bitchiest tone possible. I forgot what she said after that because it's hilarious. She thought I was only doing it to kiss up to my boss, lol. I would do that to anyone I'm close with. My supervisor told me to go to the office and that he'll handle it. My manager called me in and I was scared. That was one of the best risks I've taken because she was so happy I stood up for her, but she said don't do it again though, we could get in trouble. She's getting her membership revoked though. Let's stalk her, and went to look up her house on Google Earth LMAO. On my first day it was already a struggle. If you don't know what a life jacket is supposed to look like when it fits properly, if it's digging into the child's armpits, because of the buoyancy, like kickboards, and it's pretty painful. I noticed this in a little boy, and so I let his mother know. They were right by my chair. The mom was resistant at first, but then was like, ugh fine. I was already uncomfortable. So she attempts to tighten the straps. Somehow she didn't know how to do that. I was about to use my walkie so someone could help her, until she exclaimed, so are you going to help me or what? I was shocked. Nobody has ever talked to me like this before. I grew up getting bullied, even into college. I was shy, so I let it happen. Until my sorority sisters were so mean to me, I swore never to let anyone talk to me like that again. I had the choice to stand up for myself, or reward her ugly behavior. My face went completely blank and I stare at her dead in the eyes. It's on the strap. So at that point I realized this lady was just a B*TCH, and to let her make that choice as a parent. So they move away from me. They were talking pretty quietly, so they were talking shit about me. That was confirmed when the daughter yelled out, shhhh, you're being too loud to the son. So like 10 minutes later, I hear her son say, mommy, my armpits hurt. Sad face. The look on her face, she was so angry she dragged her son by his hand to the kid area and then stormed back to her husband LMAO. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.